They said that at night, when the moon shone bright and the city quieted, an unusual restaurant opened its doors. A restaurant known for its sumptuous dishes and mysterious allure. But there was one secret that no one dared to speak. The owner, a fat and confident Yoruba woman named Funke, cooked with human parts. This horrifying secret spread like wildfire in hushed whispers among those who dared suspect it. Tonight, the tale of Funke and her cursed restaurant begins, promising terror, intrigue, and shocking revelations that will leave you breathless. Welcome to Matt Stories. Please don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell to get notified when the next story is out. Funke, a robust and commanding woman, owned the grand restaurant Oba's Feast in Ikeja, Lagos. She was known far and wide for her lavish lifestyle and elegant traditional attire, which she wore with a pride that could silence any room. Every day, people from all over Nigeria visited her restaurant to taste the most exquisite dishes prepared with care and skill. Yet, behind her confident smile and charming hospitality lay a secret so dark that it defied all logic. Funke, whose beauty and wealth masked her true nature, had discovered a gruesome method to ensure her success. In the dead of night, when no one was watching, she would acquire human parts from unfortunate souls and incorporate them into her recipes to create flavors no mortal could ever imagine. The secret of Funke's restaurant was known only to a few trusted aides, among them a group of beautiful salesgirls who worked tirelessly in the busy kitchen and on the dining floor. These girls, with names like Yetunde, Omolara, and Temedeo, swore a sacred oath to never reveal the owner's dark secret. They believed that loyalty to Funke, who had promised them wealth and protection, was more important than any moral code. Every time a new dish was prepared, the aroma would be enchanting, drawing in customers from across the city. Yet, hidden in that delectable aroma was the unmistakable scent of forbidden ingredients. An aroma that only those who knew the secret could truly understand, and that haunted the dreams of those who lived in fear of being discovered. Among the many customers at Oba's Feast was a wealthy businessman from Ibadan named Ayodele, a regular patron who visited the restaurant every week. Ayodele was a man of refined tastes and high expectations, always praising Funke's cuisine in public. He was known for his generosity and charm, and his presence added prestige to the restaurant. Unbeknownst to him, however, his frequent visits played a part in an unfolding drama that would soon expose the restaurant's unholy secret. Little did he know that one of the salesgirls, the enchanting yet troubled Omolara, had begun to develop a secret crush on him. As Ayodele relished each sumptuous meal, Omolara's heart pounded with forbidden passion and conflict, for she knew what lay hidden in the ingredients, and she was determined to share the truth with the man she loved. Omolara was a striking beauty, with long, flowing hair and eyes that shimmered like the Lagos skyline at dusk. Although she worked at Oba's Feast with grace and poise, deep inside she battled with guilt and dread. Every night, as she helped serve food and smiled politely at customers, she could not escape the dark secret that permeated every corner of the restaurant. The oaths she and her sisters had taken to protect Funke's secret weighed heavily on her soul. Over time, the secret gnawed at her, filling her with both revulsion and sorrow. Yet her affection for Ayodele grew, and with it came the need to reveal the truth, even if it meant shattering her own world in the process. Funke's reputation had grown beyond Lagos, reaching even distant cities like Abeokuta and Osogbo. Stories of her culinary miracles were the talk of the town, and many believed that her recipes were blessed by the gods. However, behind the curtain of fame lay unspeakable acts. Late at night, when the restaurant was closed to the public, Funke would slip away to a secret room hidden in the basement. There, with cold determination, she prepared her most forbidden recipes using human parts. The room was dimly lit, and the metallic scent of blood mingled with exotic spices. No one in the restaurant suspected the truth, and the salesgirls remained silent, bound by their oath and the fear of retribution from their powerful mistress. As the weeks passed, Omolara's inner turmoil intensified. Every time she caught a glimpse of Ayodele's smiling face, her heart would both leap with hope and shudder with guilt. She recalled the night she first saw him in the restaurant, a calm, dignified man who seemed to embody kindness and generosity. His laughter was warm, and his eyes sparkled with a secret joy that made her believe in true love. Yet, in that same restaurant, the dark rituals of Iyafunke were being carried out in secret. Omolara knew that if she revealed the horrifying truth to Ayodele, it could shatter his world and destroy the reputation of the restaurant. But she also believed that love was stronger than any curse, and that truth, no matter how grim, must be told. One fateful evening, as the restaurant buzzed with energy and the aroma of spices filled the air, Omolara decided she could no longer keep the secret. The night was unusually quiet, and the moon hung low in the sky over Lagos. After the last customer had left, Omolara found a quiet corner near the kitchen where she could gather her thoughts. With trembling hands, she pulled out a worn photograph of her late mother, a symbol of the love and truth that she yearned for. In that moment, she resolved that she would expose Iyafunke's secret to Ayodele, hoping that the power of love and honesty might save them all from a fate too horrible to bear. The following day, as the restaurant opened for another bustling service, Omolara's heart raced with anxiety. She greeted customers with a forced smile and served dishes that were as enticing as ever, though her mind was elsewhere. Throughout the day, she stole glances at Ayodele, who sat at his favorite corner table, his eyes scanning the menu with quiet interest. Every time he laughed, her heart ached with both joy and sorrow. She knew that if she revealed the secret of the restaurant, it would not only tarnish Iyafunke's name, but also potentially ruin Ayodele's trust in her. Yet the burden of the secret was too heavy to bear, and she resolved to meet him later that evening after closing time to tell him everything, no matter how painful it might be. That night, after the restaurant's doors had closed and the last echoes of laughter faded away, Omolara approached Ayodele's table in a quiet corner of the now empty dining hall. The soft hum of the air conditioner and distant city sounds created a backdrop of hushed intimacy. With a shaky voice, she asked, "Ayodele, may I speak with you for a moment? There is something important I must tell you." Ayodele looked up from his nearly finished plate and nodded, his expression concerned and curious. He sensed that something was wrong, and as Omolara sat down beside him, the atmosphere grew heavy with unspoken tension. "I have a secret about this restaurant," she began, her eyes welling with tears. "A secret that will change everything you believe about it." The room seemed to hold its breath as Ayodele leaned in, desperate to understand the truth behind her words. Over the next several minutes, Omolara recounted the horrifying tale of Iyafunke's secret practices. In simple, clear language, she explained how Iyafunke had been cooking with human parts, a truth that sounded like something from a nightmare. Ayodele listened, his face transforming from confusion to shock as he absorbed each word. "I never imagined such a thing could happen here," he said softly. Omolara's voice trembled, yet she continued with unwavering resolve. "I have seen the secret room in the basement, where our mistress prepares these unholy dishes. I was forced to keep this secret by an oath, but I can't live with this lie anymore." As the revelation sank in, Ayodele felt his stomach twist in horror. Yet amid the shock, a sense of determination arose in him. He knew that he could not let such darkness go unchecked, and that something had to be done. The next morning, Ayodele left the restaurant with a heavy heart, pondering the disturbing confession. The bright Lagos sun did little to warm the chill that had settled over him. He spent the day in deep thought, reviewing every memory of his visits to Obar's feast with a new sense of dread. In his mind, every delicious aroma now carried a sinister undertone. Ayodele, torn between his affection for the establishment and the horror of its secret, resolved to gather more evidence before taking any drastic action. He decided to revisit the restaurant that evening, determined to confront Iyafunke and uncover the full truth behind the gruesome practice. Later that evening, under the cover of darkness, Ayodele returned to Obar's feast alone. The grand restaurant, normally filled with laughter and chatter, now lay silent and shadowed. As he stepped inside, the familiar scent of exotic spices mingled with a faint, unplaceable odor that sent shivers down his spine. Moving stealthily through the corridors, he searched for the secret door that led to the basement. Every step echoed ominously as he made his way to the hidden entrance, guided by the memory of Omolara's trembling voice. Finally, he found the door cleverly concealed behind a stack of old crates. His hands shook as he pushed it open, revealing a dim, cold staircase descending into darkness. Ayodele hesitated for a moment, gathering his courage, and then stepped into the unknown, determined to expose the truth. The staircase led Ayodele into a vast, hidden basement where the most ghastly secrets of Oba's feast were kept. Dim light filtered through cracks in the wall, casting eerie shadows on rows of old cooking utensils and mysterious ingredients. In the center of the room was a large cauldron, its contents obscured by steam. As Ayodele crept closer, he noticed fragments of human remains mixed with exotic spices, arranged meticulously on a cold metal table. His stomach churned in horror as he realized the magnitude of the secret that had haunted his beloved restaurant. Every sound, every drip of water echoed around him, and he could feel his heart pounding in his ears. Determined to gather evidence, he reached for his phone to document the scene, knowing that exposing this horror was the only way to save innocent lives from the same fate. Back in the quiet of his modest apartment in Ikeja, Ayodele reviewed the chilling photos he had taken in the basement. The images were grim and undeniable, a clear record of the unspeakable secret that lurked beneath the polished facade of Oba's feast. As he sat in the dim light of his study, his mind raced with thoughts of justice and the moral duty to reveal the truth. However, he also felt a pang of sorrow for Omolara, whose brave confession had cost her dearly. Determined to protect her and the community, he drafted a detailed message to a trusted local journalist, urging them to investigate further. Ayodele knew that exposing the secret would be dangerous, but the overwhelming horror of the situation left him with no other choice. With resolve hardening his voice, he whispered, "The truth must come to light." In the days that followed, Ayodele worked quietly to compile all the evidence he could find. He met with a few trusted patrons and even contacted an investigative reporter known for tackling tough stories in Lagos. The reporter, Ifeoma, listened intently as Ayodele recounted every detail of his discovery. They agreed to work together to bring the story to the public, without compromising the safety of those who had suffered in silence. Meanwhile, the mysterious elle Funke, the formidable owner of Oba's feast, remained oblivious to the growing storm. Every night, as she oversaw the preparations in her luxurious kitchen, she maintained her air of charm and benevolence. Little did she know that her dark secret was unraveling, and the powerful forces of truth and justice were closing in on her. One sultry evening, as the heat of Lagos enveloped the city, Ayodele and Ifeoma arranged a secret meeting at a quiet cafe in Victoria Island. Over cups of steaming tea, they pored over the photos, documents, and testimonies they had collected. Ifeoma's eyes burned with determination as she said, "This story will shock the nation. We must act quickly before elle Funke silences everyone." Ayodele nodded, recalling the innocent faces of those who had dined at the restaurant, unaware of the horror behind every dish. They planned to publish their exposé at dawn, ensuring that the truth would spread like wildfire. As the first light of dawn broke over Lagos, the exposé went live, sending shockwaves through the city. News outlets picked up the story, and soon, Oba's feast became the center of a national scandal. Angry citizens and outraged families flooded the streets, demanding justice for the victims of the gruesome secret. elle Funke and her loyal staff were arrested, and the restaurant was shut down amidst chaos. In the days following the exposé, the authorities launched a full-scale investigation into Oba's feast. elle Funke was brought in for questioning, her once commanding presence now replaced by a look of desperation and fear. The streets of Lagos buzzed with discussions about the scandal, and families demanded answers. Omolara found herself caught in the crossfire as public opinion was divided. Some saw her as a traitor, while others hailed her as a brave soul who finally broke the silence. Amidst the uproar, A series of public hearings were held in Lagos to address the scandal. The courtroom was packed with spectators, journalists, and families seeking justice. Funke's defense was weak. As evidence piled up against her, the grisly photos from the restaurant's basement were displayed for all to see. Omolara was called to testify, and with tears streaming down her face, she confessed the oath she had taken and the secrets she had been forced to keep. Over the next few years, the memory of Funke's restaurant gradually faded from daily conversation, but it was never forgotten. Amidst all the chaos and healing, Omolara found herself on a journey of personal redemption. No longer willing to be defined by her past, she embarked on a path to rebuild her life. She left Lagos for a small town in Osun State, where she opened a humble cafe that served simple, wholesome meals made from locally sourced ingredients. Her cafe, named New Dawn, Omolara poured her heart into the cafe, sharing her story with anyone who would listen and encouraging them to learn from her mistakes. Over time, her reputation transformed from that of a reluctant accomplice to a beloved figure of change. Her journey from darkness to light inspired many, and her cafe became a symbol of hope and rebirth. Did you enjoy this story? Please share your thoughts in the comment. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to this channel.